you can't take anything away from the man who formerly was the enforcer, Chris Lewis.
That's right.
Hell of a competitor. He's going to be taking on Rick Owens here, and I have a lot to say on the topic, but unfortunately one of these men will be retired as of the end of this match.
I've had many matches with Rugged Rick Owens. My first CCW match was actually with Chris Lewis, so I'm honored to sit here with you and call this one tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely historic night here at Clash 31. So we have not seen Rugged Rick Owens in the CCW ring since the Monster Mash Rumble, where he would suffer a debilitating knee injury.
That's right.
And what could only make it worse was having to attend the same rehabilitation clinics alongside Big Bad LG. But he returns tonight after being fired by Chris Lewis during a physical altercation that happened on an episode of Clash Talk with Tanya. Now, the board would reinstate Rick Owens last month at the behest of Chris Lewis, who left his enforcer position and put his career on the line because he wanted to get his hands on Rick Owens, and he wanted to make sure that everyone knew that CCW was not big enough for the two of them.
And this is going to be one hell of a match, I can tell you that. I don't even think this is going to be a match. I feel like this is going to be a straight-out war between these two tonight.
War indeed. We have the enforcer, Chris Lewis. I don't remember what his last match that he had here was, but it was some time ago. He's been the enforcer, was very successful at it. It was great. It was great to have him in that position for such a long period of time. Rick Owens coming back off of rehab. Chris Lewis not here really for the fans. He's here to take out Rick Owens. Definitely a huge local fan favorite. The face of the company, many matches. These two actually battled at the very first Clash.
That's right. These two have quite a history together.
Yeah, they've had many altercations, a lot of gold involved, being traded back and forth between the two. So it's curious to see, will the ring rust of Chris Lewis or his anger be the dominant factor for him here? Rick Owens has that knee fully recovered. You can see he's wearing a brace.
And that's another thing. You got to wonder how Rick's knee's going to hold up in this.
Yeah, it looks like he was able to force Chris Lewis back. It looks like he might be the larger of the two men. He's been doing a lot of upper body, but if he's got a bad wheel down there, it's all going to be for naught.
That's right.
Oh, Chris Lewis this time. Looks like he's forcing back the former champion. Oh. He's got him by the beard. Yeah, he definitely had him by the beard. Chris Lewis just letting us know totally on purpose. Wow, very aggressive lockup. The publicist. All right, Stormy Hale. Looks like she's being joined by Sabrina Carroll, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Who looks to be having none of Stormy's commentary over there.
She is not happy.
Nah. Anyone that proximal to Logan Green has got to be miserable all the time. All right, the former champion sends the other former champion off and gets a receipt of a massive flying clothesline by hell by Chris Lewis. I guess we can't call him the enforcer anymore.
That's right.
I don't know what to call him. It's just Chris Lewis, I guess. A very mad, angry man with a history of hating the audience. Just letting it fly everywhere tonight is Chris Lewis.
There he is, choking him now. Well, we don't need none of that.
Wow. Rick Owens sends Chris Lewis off faster than he even believed possible, and then meets Chris Lewis, wipes him out with a clothesline. A little bit of return of that action for paying him back.
That's right.
Wow,
Deep arm drag there.
Deep arm drag by Rick Owens. And we got some thunderous landings, and it's going to be Chris Lewis taking a break. They have a lot on the line.
What's he doing now? He's taking a breather, timeout?
What
is this?
A little respite. Referee Alex started the count. We have
I don't need this crap.
MBWA
I'm going back to
representative
Ontario.
Sabrina Carroll. You don't mean that. Chris doesn't mean that. He's not going back to Ontario.
No.
He's not giving up his CCW career like this, but I don't blame the guy for taking a minute in a match where his career is on the line.
Oh.
He's coming back. Need some more energy drinks, Lewis. I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble.
Oh, no.
Oh, and then, Sabrina Carroll, MBWA representative, stepping in, telling Rick, get it back in the ring. If you've been watching our Facebook page, you're
and he's not listening
with her work, trying to get Rick Owens back into this match and trying to get him back into his career.
Oh, now he's just choking him with the shirt now.
Wow, at least, jeez. I think Chris Lewis already opted to try to take shortcuts.
Yeah, he just threw him right into the post there.
Unfortunately, Chris is going to be immediately back into the ring. Referee Alex was in perfect position to break it up. Rick Owens still down by the security barrier.
And this is not a good spot for Rick to be in right now.
I'm not sure if Chris Lewis was hoping for a count out. He was definitely, he is perched in the corner. He's full recuperating. Rick Owens got the worst of that exchange. But he's going to be now sliding back in the ring. Bates in Chris Lewis, who misses that big elbow drop. And Rick, sorry, it looks like he's in pain. I think that knee is still bothering him.
Yes.
But he's getting ready to turn up the heat on Chris Lewis. We got those patented running Rick Owens. He's going to be dragging him coast to coast. Fires in another one. Drags pillar to post over and over. The former MBWA heavyweight champion, Rick Owens.
He's building up some steam now. And
Chris Lewis ducks out of the way. Yeah, you're so smart, Chris. Thanks for that. So smart. But he has got a leg up on Rick Owens, and it looks like he is torquing and cranking.
He's got Rick in the ropes now there. He's working on that leg.
Yeah, he really is. And that can get pretty dangerous. Chris Lewis has won multiple championships with a sharpshooter.
That's right.
If he's able to cinch that in on a weekend and an already damaged like Rick Owens has. Oh, wow. Sweeps that same injured leg out. We got the game plan of Chris Lewis now. He's weakening that leg. He's thinking sharpshooter. The knee's already weakened. You couldn't ask for a better target. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to rip that brace right off of his leg.
I would not be surprised either.
The way he's taking shortcuts, I did not expect this tonight, but what
maybe
is he
setting
thinking?
up for a sharpshooter? No.
Lion tamer? Kind of a dirty lion tamer, I'd call that.
Yeah.
But he has got both legs cranking in the lower back. If you have a leg injury like that, that quadricep is going to tighten up, cause some pelvic tilt, going to shift all that pressure onto Rick Owens' lower back. It's a really well scouted maneuver, really.
If you notice the way he's got Rick's legs twisted up.
Yeah, it's kind of like that pressure and that twist, the same way you'd open a tight jar of pasta. He's just squeezing and cranking, and now we got the clutch.
Just wearing him down now.
Wow. Just aggression and aggression and aggression.
Now just buying some time.
Unfortunately, right now, this match is going to be Chris Lewis's to lose. Looks like he's back in position, goes back to the well on that submission hold, but Rick Owens does not have his knees underneath his hips to counteract the pressure. And then that's what happens. Chris Lewis jumps up, slams right down on the injured back. This is a hip attack. But he could definitely stand to try to follow this up with something and maybe not take so many breaks.
That's right.
I know there's a lot of gravitas, right? This could be either of these men's last match. Maybe he's having... Oh, wow! Rick flips around. He got a hard landing for the enforcer, the former enforcer, Chris Lewis. It's so unnatural not to call him that.
That's a way to turn the tables around.
Yeah, Rick Owens letting gravity enforce itself on the lower abdomen of Chris Lewis, who's just trying to recover.
But you gotta wonder, though, has the damage been done to his leg?
Yeah, he usually follows up. He's got a lot of momentum behind him. He's got a lot of very momentum-based grappler. And then he's got a kick, and he's thinking, butterfly slam, forces down, follows it up with a quick leg drop, and he's got the leg hooked.
2 count only there.
Woo. Just a 2 count. Rick Owens going to be looking for something. Rick looking like he's in tremendous shape, aside from the leg injury.
That's right.
But now just Chris Lewis just firing strikes, just trying to do some ligament damage. He's stepping in for the sharpshooter.
Are we going to see him pull it off here tonight?
Is he hesitating, or is he just savoring the moment?
I think he's letting Rick think about it.
He's letting him try to fight back, but there's no way that injured leg. Yes, there is. Rick Owens able to push off Chris Lewis. Looks like he pulled him in a little bit and then fired him back.
Is he going to be able to capitalize now? Chris is back up to his feet.
He's going to stand him back up. Chris Lewis likes to utilize a lot of suplexes, a lot of slamming. Rick shoved him off. Barely got him up for the Owens buster. Sorry, the redneck bomb.
And I'm wondering maybe if his leg was starting to bother him as he went to lift him up there.
Yeah.
Maybe his knee buckled on him.
We'll have to check that on a different camera angle. There might have been some buckling, but Chris Lewis rolls over and he's just driving that pointy, sharp part of the elbow right into the side of the knee, just trying to shift his patella out of place. Twist that kneecap over and he's picking back up. He's going right for the sharpshooter again.
There we go. Rick's awful close to the ropes, though. He needs to get him back in the middle.
These two would meet in clashes past, with Chris Lewis winning the NBWA Heavyweight Championship to Rick Owens, who passed out in the sharpshooter after a very similar attack. And that's got to be the knowledge that Chris Lewis is feeding on with this selection of assaults today. Rick pressing up, trying to plank up. He's got a long ways to go to get over to that bottom rope to grab on, and he looks like he's fading. This would be a hell of a way to go out, but if you're going to go out, don't tap.
That's right. And
everything is on the line, and Rick rolls him over. That was a great idea. Rather than trying to directly muscle him, he rolls over, trips up Chris Lewis, who appears to be holding his own knee now. A little bit of payback. Stomp right in the gut. And Rick Owens is thinking sharpshooter.
Here we go.
This one's all the way, but he's a little close to the rope for my like. He's sitting right down, cranking the back and the hips of Chris Lewis is trying to fight out of it, but he's just can't. There's so much pressure on his back. I don't think he could reach up to grab that rope. It's at referee Alex's discretion if a hand underneath is going to be enough to break this hold. But Chris is lifting up, and the knee. Rick Owens looked like he tripped forward because of that shift.
I think he did.
He wasn't able to balance because of the damage to his knee. Both these men looking the worst for wear. There's been some heavy hits. There's been some battling on the outside. There's been a lot of back damage to both these men.
We'll see
if Rick can land that stunner.
Are we going to see it?
Straight down off the ropes. And then Rick, he grabs him. This is unusual. He's grabbing him for a sleeper. Maybe he didn't. Chris Lewis, all to his credit, he was able to stay up on his feet after the stunner. Now he's getting squeezed. He's tapping!
He tapped him! Look at that!
Wow. I don't know how to feel about this. Hell of a matchup between two CCW greats, but it looks like it's going to be a retirement night for Chris Lewis.
Yeah, once he had him there was no choice but to tap. That was a tight hold.
Yeah, really no option. Rick Owens, I guess, saying his goodbyes. You got to feel a little bit for Chris Lewis, but great to see Rick Owens back in the ring.
I mean, what a way for Rick Owens to come back. And I don't know what to say about Chris Lewis, man. He's done. It's hard to picture CCW without either one of these two.
We have NBWA President Troy coming out having some words with Chris Lewis, and the medical director as well, checking on Chris. Chris, just not really sportsmanlike conduct here for the CCW fans. I feel less conflicted about this now, Nick.
My question is, what is she doing out here now? Stormy's out here too.
Wow, NBWA president telling Chris to have one last look before he leaves.
Unbelievable.
And Rick Owens going to be standing tall here at CCW Clash 31.
Oh, here we go.
Goodbye. Na 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 na. That is Chris Charter's music. That is not the song we were singing. I don't know if we need our DJ. There's a lot of history here.
There is. And look at Rick, he's ready to go again.
What is the meaning of this?
Congratulations, Rick Owens. Congratulations, Rick Owens. Is that better? Shut up and pay attention. You just said a senior's this and a pounce of there. Good for you.
There.
I'm assuming with all your little lovers quarrel with Chris Lewis, you forgot about the hard way Chris Charters. Look, there's only one reason that you come here, and that's to see me. So you should be grateful. You should be grateful that I showed up here in the first place. There's not a damn one of you that deserves to see me. But the reason I'm here is I'm looking at a man who doesn't know a wrist lock from a wrist lock. See, I'm not looking for a wrestling match. No. Look at Rick Owens. I'm looking for a fight.
Rick looked like he's willing to indulge this, but
I think so.
Sabrina Carroll advising him against it.
Let's go.
He's just had a hellacious match with Chris Lewis. There's a lot of damage done. That's NBWA representative Sabrina Carroll trying to separate these two, trying to be the voice of reason. No sign of the temporary or one-night enforcer, Stormy Hale, who left with Chris Lewis.
What are we going to see here?
The CCW fans just enjoying the opportunity to yell at Chris Charters.
Right.
Where's your parents?
Right, we have the return of Stormy Hale.
You got the balls in your face.
And she's content to let it ride.
And I'll have your wife and your kids calling me daddy.
Oh, that's dirty. That's you don't go there with Rick Owens.
He's making this personal now.
You're gonna just mic drop and walk out of here.
He's giving him his back.
Sabrina Carroll's got to get in there and just calm Rick down. He's gonna come flying over this fence in a minute.
Why?
I don't want any excuses when I beat your ass and pin you. 1, 2, 3. And thank God that I get to leave this freaking dump. Turn the mic on. It's a button. It's a button. Charter! You don't think that I have the balls to take you on next month? You guys want to see me kick his ass next month?
I want to see it.
Sure do. They sure do.
It's been a long time coming, pal. About 6-7 months, I'd say. You're on. I'll see you then, pal.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Absolutely. So we have that to look forward to.
And I, for one, couldn't be happier to see Rick Owens back in the CCW ring.
Absolutely. It's great to see him returning to that mainstay position.
It is.
I want to watch Rick Owens kicking ass every month.
Oh, yeah.